Hello everyone, my name is Tristin Storm and this is my first YouTube video. I am joined today with my incredible friend Megan, who is a jewelry business owner and jewelry coach, and she is also a student from my Life Aligned program.
What an incredible experience.
This is a two-part video, so if you're coming over from Meg's channel, welcome back. If you're watching this for the first time, do check out part 1. We were talking all about the limiting beliefs around just getting started. So I thought that I would, really just do lifetime simulation here and show the vulnerability behind getting started and how terrifying it is. I've been procrastinating this for about 3 years now. So Megs has definitely inspired me to just get started. She's got an amazing YouTube channel. Definitely check it out. We'll pop all the links below. So we want to go a little bit deeper into some of the limiting beliefs around the fear of getting started and what that really entails. We also maybe do a little process if you're up for it. Just sort of jump in. So Meg, if you think about your journey in being an entrepreneur, being a jewelry designer, what are some of the fears that kind of have come up for you around this getting started?
Loads. And it was like 10 years ago when I actually started, but major one was the fact that I come from a small little tiny village in the middle of nowhere in the mountains in South Africa. And I was in London at the time when I was studying, and I finished studying my jewelry course. And I was just looking around at me at all these incredibly talented jewelry designers and amazing jewelry brands around me. And I felt like the tiniest little fish in the most gigantic ocean full of like all these other talented people. And I was like, who am I to waste my time even trying to make a mark or like put something out there? Like, who's going to ever buy that? So that even almost didn't get me started. But then I was like, no, do you know what? Actually, I love doing this. So even if nobody buys it to start off with, I'm just going to do it. And if people like it, then they like it. But I'm not going to let that stop me. The fear of like judgment as well.
That's a huge one.
Huge one.
Fear of judgment. That's huge. I mean, I think that's also been, for me, one of the things that have been really scary about just starting the YouTube channel is I'm so used to doing this in this intimate space with my clients. I'm there, I'm with them fully and completely. And it's just this little container as opposed to just being like, hi, this is me, hi world. And putting yourself out there to be exposed in that way is extremely daunting. The fear of comparison, the fear of, we spoke a little bit about that earlier, about, there's so many people, there's so many voices, there's so many people doing and talking about mindset and work-life balance, right? But only you are doing it in your way, And I think that the people that need to hear it from you will land up
and
watching.
Also, I feel like it's not only about the content as well. Obviously, that matters.
Energy.
But it's the energy. You need to connect with a person. Like, we've been friends for a long time.
Yes.
And, like, I knew that, like, I'd done shorter courses of yours. So the inner critic, the saboteur.
Inner saboteurs, inner child.
Inner child. And they were great. And I love them. So, like, doing your big course, the Life Alignment program, was so amazing, but I knew that I would enjoy it because it was you as well and I connected with you, whereas compared to a different coach doing something else, maybe what they're offering is good but it doesn't resonate with you need to find that as well. So
and I think the only way that people can resonate is when you do show up authentically.
Exactly. 100%.
And that's such a overused word in today's authenticity. Like, that's, I mean, there'll be a video on that for sure. But I think when you start to just show up in that vulnerable space of just like, here I am, nothing pretty, here it is, it is what it is in this moment, then those people that do resonate will find you.
Totally.
Because you're just putting it out there.
Totally. I couldn't agree more. Exactly. Like, even for me, like, in fact, I've got a lot of YouTube comments. People have just said, like, thanks for just being real and just being you. Like, even some people saying, I love you, which is...
I love you. I resonate with that
too. But, like, I think, like, I bring so much of myself and I am myself. Like, what you see on screen, like, us having this conversation, this is real life.
Exactly.
And I think that's when people resonate. When it's very clinical and, like, scripted, like, I write bullet points usually for my videos and then I kind of elaborate around those, but it's coming from me. But, like, I tried scripting, like, it doesn't
I have
work.
tried to make my first YouTube, literally, it's been 3 years now of trying to, and I just felt like, and that's why I'm really glad that we're doing it in this way, to just kind of break the ice. And because that feeling of just kind of sitting there talking to the camera, I think that's a big one, is just like sitting there talking to myself, right? As opposed to when I'm in a session with someone, we're bouncing off.
Yeah.
I'm reading what that person needs completely and utterly, and I'm there fully for them. Whereas this it's a lot harder because you're now trying to have that same beautiful intimate space, but you're talking to yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Which feels so weird. So I'm hoping that this little icebreaker first video will just kind of get it started, and to recognize, I think, that you're not just talking to yourself.
No.
That this video, even if it takes 10 years to reach someone, will touch someone at the right moment. It will speak to the person when it needs to.
Exactly. The way that I always thought of it, which helped me in the beginning, was to just think I'm talking to my friend.
Yes.
So this is a great way
to
start.
There you go.
So just continue along this frame, and like who you are, and you know what you bring is just incredible. And like just knowing that, you know, what you're bringing is incredibly valuable to people, and you know, they find it at the right time. So I'm so happy to be here.
I'm so glad. So I thought that what we could maybe play with today a little bit, just to kind of give a taster, because again, like I was saying, what I love about the type of work that I do is that intimate space, that you're learning these tools that so many people are talking about it. Like, you know, you just have to go through an Instagram reel and you'll get mindset till the cows come home, alignment this, alignment that. But I really just want this space to be that little taster where you can kind of immerse yourself in the experience as well, where it's not just a theory, that you're actually being able to implement it. So
beautiful.
I thought we could play with one of my favorite tools, which is symbolic modeling, clean language, aka clean language, which looks at the stories, you know, we were talking about in your video, the stories that are linked behind things, right? We are the meaning makers, and we're constantly imbuing stuff with meaning. And the stories we tell ourselves, so the story I've been telling myself about this YouTube channel is that I'm going to make it, and I'm going to put myself out there, and people might not like it. I'm going to get negative comments. And so that story is the thing that's stopped me from just making the damn video, knowing that it can evolve and grow and get better. So it's really, really important to be able to catch what's your story. So here's a question, right? What's your story behind getting started? Okay, so I know you've already started your successful business and you're, you know, doing so well, but if you think about, you know, you're in a transition period now, thinking about moving and a whole bunch of new stuff. What currently is the story that you're running in your mind about just stepping out of that comfort zone, stepping out of what's familiar? What comes up for you?
Well, I think, to be honest, like comparing my mindset when I left England and moved to Belgium compared to my mindset now, which, surprise coming, I'm moving somewhere else from Belgium. I'm going somewhere else, to be revealed. I feel so much better about this, but I think it's because of all the work we've done. But looking at my move from England to Belgium, it was so scary and so stressful because I was leaving my job, which was like my first proper well-paid job.
The comfort zone.
The
9 to 5.
The 9 to 5, exactly. And working as a teacher there for 7 years, like it was all very familiar. I knew how to do stuff, and I was running my jewelry business on the side, and I was doing really well as well. So it was like, oh my God, I'm going to move to another country that it's not even English speaking. That was terrifying. And just like, I was excited for it on one level, but then I was also constantly doubting whether it was the right move and finding it very hard to know which voice to listen to. Is it the like, yes, go for it? Or is
intuition,
it the like...
or critic?
Exactly. I didn't even know how to label the two. Exactly. And knowing which one's which, because like, if the one's shouting louder, but then you don't know
that one's true.
You think that one's true, but like, is it the fear or is it the right thing to do? So that was really terrifying, really. But in the end,
so if you think of, so you've shifted so much in terms of, and again, it's that inner work. As you start to shift the limiting beliefs around that, like, oh, I can't, this is safe, this is secure, this is familiar to me. When you start to dig in, which you really did, 18 weeks, intensive, deep work. Definitely shifts. But if we think about currently, maybe something that
now
is quite present for you.
Okay. So for this move now that's coming up soon, so basically flying back to Belgium today
in like an hour.
yeah. We decided we have to film her first YouTube video together.
Our first time in the same country in like
so many
6 years.
Yeah, we're like, no, this has to happen.
Yeah.
So now, flying back, then I have a month and a half packing up and then moving. Obviously, okay, so feeling into it. Ask me questions. Yes.
Take a breath.
Yes.
And just land on those little toes of yours. So we're going to place one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly.
Doesn't matter which one.
Breathe. No, doesn't matter. It's just kind of letting your body know that you're safe and you're in this moment. We're moving out of your busy brain into your body. And I want you to just ask, when you think of this fear of just stepping out of that comfort zone, that first step, okay, what comes up in the body? Maybe we start with where it is in the body. So maybe it's like a particular sensation. And just notice, just scanning the body as you breathe. Breathing in, breathing out. Just notice which part of the body is speaking a little loud today.
I'd say it's kind of around here, kind of like fluttery.
Ooh, okay.
Kind of.
Yeah. Does it have a color, that fluttery?
Maybe it's kind of pinky purple.
Oh, it's like a pinky purple. Okay. And what's the texture? Is it warm? Is it cold? Is it soft and smooth? Is it spiky and hard? What's the texture?
Kind of fluffy-ish. Got little specks of light in it.
Okay.
Like sparkly bits.
So when you feel into that soft pinky purple, little bits on it, I want you to just feel into that feeling for a moment. And we're just going to listen. So just dropping out of the conscious mind, which is trying to find logical answers to this story that's going on there. I want us to just get curious, just to activate intense curiosity for a moment and just be with that feeling. So when you feel about this stepping forward out of the comfort zone, what is that voice? So we were talking about discerning those two voices. So let's hear what can we hear? What is the voice saying about just stepping and just doing it? What's the voice saying?
The fear voice or the
so we want to be able to
voice?
discern. So speak whichever voice feels louder. Let's speak to that voice first. What's it saying?
You don't know where you're going to end up living.
Okay, so you don't know where you're going to end up living. Okay, what else?
Takes a long time to set things up again in a new country.
Okay, it takes a long time. So this is us uprooting some of the limiting beliefs right now. Okay, so it's going to take a long time to settle in. You don't even know where you're going to live. What else? What else is there? Really just give it a space to be heard.
Like community and like knowing people is really important to me. So, not being sure if I'm going to find that where I go. It's a bit scary as well.
Yeah. Anything else? So if we just listen, really listen, maybe even in the background, this sort of more quiet, subtle, nuanced voice. So we've got these limiting beliefs. So community is really important to me. So there's a fear around, maybe it's, I'm not going to find my people. I don't even know where I'm going to live. It's going to take a long time. Is there anything else there? Anything else that wants to come up and be heard?
I think that's mainly that voice.
Perfect. Yeah. Okay. So being with all of those fears for a moment, okay, I want you to notice that you are authoring the story, okay? So I want to activate your imagination for a moment. So you're stepping out of your comfort zone. And you're stepping into this unknown, okay? When we activate imagination, so the fear or the anxiety, the limitation, comes from us using the imagination to restrict, to think of all the worst. I'm not going to make any friends. I don't know where I'm going to live. It's going to take forever to get grounded, okay? I want you to activate that imagination for a moment, and I want you to describe to me what it could look like in the most exciting way that you can imagine. What does it look like? What do you feel? Where are you? What are you feeling?
Exciting.
Yeah?
Beautiful sunshine, beautiful beaches, just happy. I am just I need sunshine in my life.
Yes.
And I'm super excited about being in warm places and experiencing new things, eating new foods, and meeting people who are on my same wavelength as me. Because I feel like it's so important to surround yourself by people who nourish you and like pick you up. So I'm really excited about that potential. But it might be more in passing, or make longer connections. And I feel that possibility, but also feel like I have some influence in that. So if we have a good connection with somebody, you can stay in touch. Like it is also, I can also take the lead. Rather than being
aligned action. Good.
Yeah, rather than just being like, oh, community isn't coming to me, like the other scary voice was just saying. And just enjoying life, living, letting go a little bit of fear and worry. And
what happens when you let go of that fear and worry?
It's really freeing.
What does freeing feel like in the body?
Just ease, relax, like let go. What
happens to that pink and purple, those fluffy bits? What happens to that?
It gets bigger.
Fluffier. And when it gets big and fluffier, what happens to that fear of, oh, but it might take long? What happens to that noise?
It feels good. It's gone. I think it's the kind of like, almost like the other voice felt like a victim. Whereas this...
Well, I can't do anything about it.
Yeah. And whereas here, I feel like I'm in the driving seat. And I can make choices. And if I'm not happy somewhere, then I go. If I want to be somewhere longer, I can stay. And like I'm super excited for this.
So I want you to breathe into that excitement. Breathe it all the way down to the tips of your toes. Give them a nice little wiggle. And just stretching out, opening up, allowing that feeling to move and oscillate through every single cell of your body, giving you access to that feeling. So whenever that anxiety, whenever that voice comes up of like, oh, but I don't know, just remembering this feeling fully and completely, and having access to that pink, purple, fluffy that gets bigger, that fluffy that gets excited, that fluffy that recognizes that you actually have your part to play in this, that you can interact. You're in the driver's seat. Feel what that feels like for a moment. Yes, babe, we were driving. Well done. So just coming fully back into this moment, allowing yourself to have full access both consciously and unconsciously to this feeling. Opening your heart, your mind, and your eyes when you're ready. Hi.
Yes, I'm even more excited now.
Well done. Thank you so much for being vulnerable and sharing that little process with. Thank you. So what we just did there was really being able to play with that feeling, as opposed to just going, there's a fear, I'm having a feeling, I have a fear, it's stuck in my body, and the story is just running in the background. What we did is we took a pause and we listened to the story. We sat with the feeling in the body, because your body is speaking all the time. And fear and anxiety and excitement are actually the same feeling. They're just coming through a different filter. So the fear and anxiety is coming through the limiting belief of, it's going to take a long time to establish, I won't have any friends, I'm going to be all alone, right? So that's coming through the limiting belief. But you see how quickly, when we allow it to move through that, oh wow, I actually can interact. I have, if I don't like something, I can change it, I can move. It's coming through the filter of expansion, that filter of, I'm actually creating, I'm authoring the story. And the feeling changes. Goes from that fear, uncomfortable feeling, to that open, to that excited.
Even like in the beginning, before you asked me, I couldn't even like form sentences or like explain properly. I just was like, I couldn't even, and then you're like, whoa, okay, let's go in. I'm like,
so we're operating most of the time, so glad, we're operating most of the time from that fight or flight. And a lot of the tools and processes that I use in my practice is being able to recognize that we need, in order to make any forward motion, it's so scary to take that step, but in order to actually take the step, you have to be here in this moment. And I think one of the biggest issues in this new age movement is that we're constantly trying to bypass. I need to think positively, I'm going to do my affirmations and everything's going to be fine. No. You have to be fully and honestly with the discomfort in the moment, because that's what's presented. The body's saying, I feel scared. Don't tell me I feel fine. I don't feel fine. I'm freaking, I'm scared. I'm anxious. This is a scary thing for me. to be fully and completely with and hold yourself in that uncomfortable feeling is the thing that allows it to move through the body. As soon as we actually give ourselves time to just be in that moment, and there's a difference between being and indulging and getting stuck in the inner critic and then holding ourselves back. Feel the difference between honoring and being honest and showing up for the truth of this moment. The truth of the moment is, I'm feeling scared and uncomfortable. Then we get curious. Oh, okay, so here's some limiting beliefs. Great, let's pull those beliefs up. Let's shift them. What can you do about it? Oh, wow, I can keep in contact. If I'm not happy somewhere, I can move.
Exactly.
I'm actually in charge here.
Yeah.
As opposed to the limiting belief saying this life is happening to me and not through me. So...
And I think like even in the course, like I really enjoyed your processes, like especially like the timeline therapy,
I love
where rather than like reliving the trauma of something, you like, no, let's take a different perspective on this. And I thought that was like really powerful and really amazing. But yeah, like, oh my God, your tool set's just incredible.
So yeah, stay tuned there. I have now, by doing this video and putting it out there, have also kind of made that agreement that accountability Meg's going to be my accountability buddy. In the course we have accountability buddies for this exact reason is when you say you're going to do something, you're much more likely to do it. So by putting out this first video, there needs to be a lot more to come. So I'm really excited.
And I look forward to watching every single one of them. And it's incredible. So guys, really, genuinely, I know it's hard to big yourself up, but like wow, like literally what an incredible gem of a human Tris is. So if you do her course, like her testimonials are just like out of this world because she's just changed so many lives. So definitely stay tuned. And wow.
Thank you so much for watching, and all the links will be down below, and we'll see you in the next video.
Yay!
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Well done.